Well, it's finally over. The 2025 season was one for the ages, and despite culminating in a game without many fireworks, the year was full of twists and turns that featured some of the most exciting moments in recent memory. Sam Darnold managed to complete the ultimate redemption story, finally shutting the lid on ghosts that followed him through New York and eventually Minnesota. On the national stage, the world saw Drake Maye and the Patriots crumble under the brightest of lights, and there is a lot to talk about. Will Campbell has been dragged through the mud. After all, it makes sense. His performance in the Super Bowl was historic for all the wrong reasons, allowing 14 pressures, the most in any single playoff game ever. That, alongside 29 throughout the entire run, is definitely not something to brush over. However, the rookie has dealt with injuries this season, and while criticism over his short arm length is valid and something that we ourselves were worried about before the draft, it doesn't exactly paint the whole picture on Will Campbell as a player. Arm length is always going to be talked about. I mean, right now we're seeing it with Ruben Bain, and some have pointed out what this game might have meant for GMs evaluating talent at left tackle in the future. But something that we did in the offseason was correlate PFF grade with arm length. And while there was some pretty interesting findings and it might not be the perfect measurement system, the conclusion that we came to is that talent is superior to all physical ability. And I don't want to act like Will Campbell has no talent. There's just a lot to work on. Instincts might say that guard is his natural position, but I don't think that Campbell's future as a left tackle is over. It takes time and is one of the hardest positions to be good at immediately. I admit the T-Rex arms jokes are pretty hilarious, but don't let that change how you view him as a player. Maybe this offseason he's going to go over his alignment and game plan and build up new habits and learn things over from scratch, and we'll see a different version of Will Campbell going into year 2. While most of the media might be aware of the bigger picture, a lot of fans that were pointing towards Campbell and the rest of the Patriots O-line are misattributing what lost this game for this team. It was bad, yeah, I'm not going to deny that, but I think this game actually brings up a lot of questions for the MVP frontrunner, Drake Maye. If you're new here, welcome to DNA Sports. If this video sounds interesting to you, we post stuff like this every single week. This is a small channel and it's hard to juggle the responsibilities of YouTube, being a full-time university student, and having a job. So if you want to show your support and make these videos just a little bit easier, make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss a video. Without further ado, let's get back to the topic at hand. Drake Maye has become a media sensation, and for a while the sophomore quarterback seemed untouchable. As narratives formed to discredit him, the Patriots kept adding up wins. Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels both deserve their praise at the NFL awards, turning the franchise from one that was in the gutters at 3-14 last year to being the representative of the AFC, an impressive feat no matter how the game went. To say that they were playing on house money, I mean, that was kind of my belief going into this. The vision for the Patriots was always going to be a multi-year process, and the seeds are planted for a very promising future. We've talked about it on this channel before, but the core of Christian Gonzalez, who played out of his mind by the way, Will Campbell, maybe even Travion Henderson, and of course Drake Maye, will be good for many years to come. Right now though, we have to wonder about the heights that team can reach in general. It might be a little bit brash, but I think Drake Maye's ceiling is a little bit lower than I originally might have anticipated. And I'm not going to say that he won't get any better throughout the rest of his career, but I do think that he might be closer to his ceiling than some fans would like to admit. It is exceptionally hard to make it to the Super Bowl, and it's even harder to do it twice. I think fans in Boston got so used to Brady's ridiculous career that they almost forgot what it looks like for other players. Aaron Rodgers, despite arguably being the peak of the position skill-wise, played in one Super Bowl throughout his 20-year career. One of the video ideas that we've toyed with on this channel is trying to do a statistical deep dive into championship windows in the NFL. It's a project that's remained on the back burner for a little while, and as the news cycle slows down in the offseason, it's probably going to be something that we pick up again. But the relevant point here is that many teams think falling short is just another chance to go at it again next year. But what we find more often than not is that what's supposed to be next year never comes. Just look at the Lions or the 49ers. Even the Eagles made it twice within 3 years and then got knocked out in the first round. I know that this Patriots team is young and there are many opportunities to improve, but I still have a suspicion that we might not get to see that in full effect. It probably sounds crazy, but I implore you to hear me out here. Prior to the playoffs, a lot of people would have seen Maye as a shoo-in for the quarterback tier list. But I'm afraid, at least to me, that isn't the case yet. What we saw, especially in the Super Bowl, was a meltdown, and I'm not afraid to call it for what it is. Whether or not it's as big of a reason as many people make it out to be, the Patriots played a historically easy schedule this year, and even if we want to pretend like it doesn't matter, it showed in the Super Bowl. After beating an injury-plagued Chargers team, a cross-eyed CJ Stroud, and a Denver Broncos team with a backup quarterback, Maye has officially become the owner of a very unfortunate stat: the worst playoff run from a quarterback ever. See, before, his struggles throughout could be disputed by simply acknowledging that a win is a win. But when that excuse doesn't hold up anymore, we see a very ugly picture being painted. Maye has been unable to center himself and let the game come to him since the playoffs started, something that would become all the more apparent against the intense pressure and defensive play calling of Mike McDonald, who cooked up some ridiculous stuff. It's not exactly an easy defense to go against, but that's kind of my point here. Maye has looked phenomenal against the Jets and Dolphins twice, or the Panthers, Saints, and Browns, but we quickly forget about his second half in this second game against the Bills, or an interception against the Buccaneers, only up 5 on the goal line before Travion Henderson broke out a touchdown run. Now, I'm not saying that bad plays and bad games don't happen, but for me personally, I was just a little bit confused with some of the attention he received throughout the year. From my perspective, I've always seen Maye as being someone that takes really bad sacks. He holds onto the ball way too long waiting for big plays, and while that might work against the bottom half teams in the league, real contenders punish those mistakes. Some quarterbacks just have the yips, and whatever they do, whatever coaching they might receive, it becomes a career-long struggle. And what I've seen from Maye in the last 4 games hasn't exactly given me a lot of faith. On a similar note to that, one of my biggest concerns is that his internal clock just seems kind of whack. When pressure comes, he either throws it away way too quick, against the Seahawks that ended up being behind or high of his receivers, or he holds it and steps into pressure. Watch the film back. Almost all of these sacks are his fault, whether pre-snap or especially when it came to his lackluster pocket presence. Sean Payton had a great point when speaking about quarterbacks out of college, and it's something that has inspired a lot of my own philosophy on the position. You can help fix accuracy, you can probably even grow arm strength with technical fixes, but you will always have a hard time fixing an out-of-sync clock. The way Maye was also just missing wide open receivers and other times not even looking at them, it's just worrying. It's ironic, he was playing against Sam Darnold, who managed to kind of resurrect himself by fixing all of these things, but even then, the way Maye struggled to bring himself back after 1 or 2 bad drives, the way he kind of eyed down Kyle Williams on that interception that is definitely one of the worst I've ever seen. I know he's young and there is a lot of room for mental improvement, but the way he played last night was awful. If this becomes a consistent thing against elite defenses, especially in big moments, his floor of play stops being an MVP runner and morphs into what we have seen recently, a Rex Grossman level stretch. The flow for the game is a little bit off right now, and I don't think his career is over. I do think he can still get better. I just have a ceiling in mind for Maye that I didn't really have before, and now I have a hard time imagining this guy as one of the upper echelon quarterbacks. You don't really just become clutch, and I don't want to sound like Skip Bayless or something, but at times you've either got it or you don't. And I think the downside of going to New England of all places is that fans expect you to be the second coming of Brady, as if you need the clutch gene that he has pre-installed, and I don't think that's fair. Maye has some questions to answer whether he likes it or not when it comes to the clutch, when it comes to these big game moments, and we will see if he becomes another Herbert-like meme or if he can prove himself in the following seasons. There are going to be a lot of tests ahead, but right now the room of improvement is becoming a serviceable quarterback against an elite defense. Fans that might be waiting for a leap to that final MVP level zone, I think they're going to be pretty disappointed when a harder schedule comes Maye's way. That's just my intuition right now. If Maye has to play defenses like this, and maybe not as good as the Seattle defense every single week, he's going to have a very hard time. I know the easy way out of this is to say that, it's Seattle's top 1 defense and that everyone would have struggled, but we don't have to bring up Matthew Stafford's performance just like 2 weeks ago. If Maye is to continue playing the way he does against teams like the Broncos, Texans, and Seahawks, we are watching a totally different career play out. Right now, I guess it's about going back to the drawing board and trying to build back up the baseline, because let's face it, in Super Bowl 60, he was just not a very good QB in the first place. If you want a deep dive into each play in a way that this channel currently does not have the resources to provide, although we are getting there, especially if you help us out by dropping a like and subscribing, check out Kurt Benkert's video. Whether or not you like the guy, he points out some very telling mistakes made by Maye that changed this from being one of the worst performances in Super Bowl to what could have been a very winnable game for New England. This might be one of our more controversial videos, but I don't think that the issue here has been entirely on his O-line. I won't be surprised if the Patriots spend a lot of their resources on that position group this offseason, but I don't think it fixes the issue. It might help, especially if they can figure out a way to work through Campbell's problems, but right now the issue is with Drake Maye. He has simply got to be better, and while I believe that he can, I'd be lying if I said that this performance in Super Bowl 60 does not worry me about his long-term future as one of the NFL's elite quarterbacks. Thanks for watching another video here on DNA Sports. We really appreciate all the support that we get on these videos and love hearing your thoughts in the comments, even if you disagree. We are happy to talk football with you guys and love the discussion. Make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss a video, and we will see you in the next one.